And good afternoon, and welcome to Rappahannock County High School for this afternoon's Saturday installment of varsity football between the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles and the Rappahannock County Panthers in what has now become more traditional of a Saturday game as back-to-back Saturdays of football here in the county, as the Panthers actually also hosted the Orioles last Saturday in scrimmage play, and they are now hosting them for their opening game of this 2022 season. As we will take a break here, we'll return to you when this game is set to go underway. And we welcome you back to Panther Stadium as kickoff is set to be underway here momentarily, as the Orioles have two in the backfield ready to receive it. It appears to be Calvin Trena and Mark Gwynn, and the kickoff is underway here. As the kick is up, it sails to the receiver in the backfield, Nathan Shepik. He will take it around the near sideline and will almost be dragged down, but stays on his feet. Facing around the 35, going to the 40. He will go to the 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, going through to the 20, and he will stumble right as he gets to the end of the play there. Almost had a house call on the opening drive. Nathan Shepik, the man taking the ball, and the Orioles will have possession deep in the Panther territory here early on in this opening quarter of play. The Orioles take it out of the huddle. Got a receiver to the right, takes the snap, and it'll be handed off to Ethan Gettler. And he will go down inside the 5, down towards the 4-yard line. So it'll be second and a short 1.5 from the 4-yard line. So a bruising drive so far by the Orioles to the Panthers. Again, rematching for the second straight time. First one was a scrimmage last weekend. Now they're facing in, if Maryland was in the Virginia High School League, it would be VHSL play. As that is fumbled on, it appears coaches on the Panthers side say the Panthers have it, and the Panthers come up with the football. What a way for the Panthers to start things off here, giving up over 90 yards in the first drive to take it down at the 4-yard line. They will take over at the 4, and the Panthers will set up deep in their own territory, 1st and 10, with 11 minutes and 5 seconds in this opening quarter of play here. Panthers have a receiver out to the left. It'll be a quarterback keeper by Elijah Settle. He will take it a couple yards in and go down. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 from what appears to be the 7. Panthers take it out of the huddle. No score yet from either team. 10 minutes and 40 seconds and counting in this opening quarter of play. Got a receiver out to the left again as Settle sets. He'll take the snap, and it'll be handed off in the backfield. Runner will go a couple of yards before losing progress. He will get the forward progress to about a yard or so, make it 2. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 from around the 15. So not a bad start for the Panthers here in this opening drive on offense. Of course, they gave up a lot of yardage in that opening kick, but to recover the fumble near the goal line, that's pretty good so far, as they set up with a receiver, Austin Harrell, out to the left. Settle under center, takes the snap, will hand it off in the backfield. Going around, rather will be Settle. He will drop about a yard or so in, if he even made progress. They will say he made about a yard and a half of progress to make it 4th down and about 4 in this opening drive here for the Panthers, looking to keep the drive alive, it appears. No, rather, they will not. They've got their kicker in the back to punt it away. I'm going to go with Scott Woodward is out there. Couldn't quite tell. It is Scott Woodward, actually. So 4th down and 4. Rather, they will punt. Flag is on the play. There's nobody in the backfield to field the punt. So it'll drop just past the 50 to the Oriole 48-yard line. But we do have a flag as the punt comes in. So we'll see what that penalty is in just a moment. And officials will appear to converge here. Rather, they're taking the chains, so it does appear that the Orioles will set up shop no matter what, appearing on the 48 of their own. Not quite exactly sure what the penalty was. Didn't see a call. But nonetheless, it is 1st and 10. For the Orioles here. Drive number 2 on the afternoon. No score yet from either team. Orioles have a receiver out towards the right. Quarterback takes a snap, hands it off to 50, then a fake to 12. He will go around the near sideline, going around, and stays in bounds. They will get him to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Orioles. It's a bruising run by the runner Nathan Shepik, who first didn't receive the handoff off the fake to Ethan Guttler, and then did receive the handoff, so it is a touchdown for the Orioles here. Their first of the afternoon in drive number 2 for them. 6-0 right now with the PAT pending, and we will see just what happens here for the Orioles here in this PAT. The first one of the game for both teams as we sit with 8 minutes, 47 seconds. Looks to go for the 2-point. They will. Quarterback keeper will throw it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. It is a completion to Jaden Orsi-Peterson. And it is an 8-0 ball game in the favor of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles here in this opening quarter of play here from Panther Stadium. We will return to you right after this. 8 minutes, 42 seconds remain on the clock for this opening quarter of play. And welcome you back to Panther Stadium, an 8-0 ball game with just shy of 9 minutes in this opening quarter left to play. The Orioles had a bruising run on their second drive of the game, as in the meantime the Orioles will send back Rocco Bauer to kick it away. And here comes the kick. It is a shallow kick. It will be fielded at about the 30. About 15 yards on the take. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. My apologies, they took it from about the 15. So make it about the 36-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers, nearing midfield, about 14 yards away. I believe on the take was Dylan Hensler in the backfield. But Panthers set up 1st and 10 from their own 36. As it appears, Dylan Hensler set under center. He will take the ball, hand it off in the backfield. Appears to be Elijah Settle. He will take a yard in before being pushed back. We'll get the forward progress to go. So about a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 from the 37. Rather, more yardage than that. My apologies. 2nd down and, we'll say 7. No, 2nd down and 8 from the 38. There we go. 2nd down and 8 from the 38. So 2 yards on the carry by Elijah Settle. Clock ticking down to about 8 minutes left in this opening quarter of play here this afternoon. Saturday afternoon football here at Panther Stadium. Panthers versus the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles. And game number 2 back-to-back. First one was a scrimmage. This one is an actual game. Hensler takes the snap under center. We'll hand it off to what appears to be Elijah Settle in the backfield. He'll take it for a bruising run of 4, it appears. So make it about 3rd down and 3 from the 42 of the Panthers. And about 3rd down 4. 42-yard line. Panthers 8 yards away from getting into Oriole territory. It'd be their first time of the game if they could do it. And so in the backfield, got a receiver more out towards the right. Or rather, his left. Hensler takes the snap waist high, will scramble and then pass it off in the backfield to Elijah Zettel. He would take it around for the first down close. He got close to the chains. Did he get the first down is the question. The call coming up, he got to the chain, but did he cross it? He did. It's a first down right at the marker. Elijah Zettel scrambling 4 yards for the first down. 1st and 10 now for the Panthers from their own 46. They are 4 yards away from getting into Oriole territory. Their first time it would be of this afternoon's contest. As the Panthers leave the huddle here, it's Dylan Hensler not going under center this time. Got a receiver out towards his left, Austin Harrell. Got a man behind him, appears to be Elijah Zettel. Rather, he's off to his left. So Hensler will take the snap a little bit below the waist. He will pass it off to Harrell. Harrell running around to the right. He will take it about 6 yards or so on the play. 5, rather. Will be dropped after the fact. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 in Oriole territory from the 49. A great run by Austin Harrell after the very quick pass from Dylan Hensler to make it a 5-yard gain on the play, make it 7 as he was a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage when he received the ball, as it is now 2nd down 5 from the Oriole 49. Hensler going under center. He will receive it and hand it back off in the backfield to Elijah Zettel. He will be tripped up almost immediately, got a yard, or rather didn't get a gain at all off of that play. Great defense by the Orioles. Couldn't quite tell who made the tackle for the Orioles. I'm going to give it right now to Nathan Shepik for the time being. So all remains where it is. 3rd down 5 from the Oriole 49 with 5:15 and counting in this opening quarter of action here from Panther Stadium in the opening game of the season as the Panthers leave the huddle. Again, 3rd down 5 from the Oriole 49. Hensler going under center. He will take the snap and hand it off to Colby Poe, who will punch it in for about 3. So make it 4th down and 2, it appears, from the Oriole 46. Or make it about 3 out from the 47 of the Orioles. Question is, will the Panthers take that 3-yard run, or will they send their kicker out to punt the ball away? They will not. They are going for it on 4th down and 3. Hensler under center looks to his left and then to his right. He will push it through, but I don't think he's going to get it just yet. The huddle is keeping on going. The question is, did he get to that 44-yard line? Did Hensler make it to the 44 of the Orioles? That is the question. What is the answer? Panther coach is saying yes. Orioles coach is saying no. They did. Dylan Hensler making it to the 44 on a 4th down and 3. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 44 of the Orioles. And the Panthers have gotten 2 straight looks on 4th down to go for them. This is immaculate offense to start off for the Panthers, although they didn't get much to go in their opening drive. This second drive looking to be way more promising than the first, as it is 1st down and 10 for the Panthers from the Oriole 44-yard line, thanks to a bruising punch by Dylan Hensler 3 yards in to get it to move the sticks. Hensler appears to go under center now. Got a receiver out to his left is Austin Harrell. He will take the snap and hand it off to Colby Poe with the flip. He will drop it and fall back roughly 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 17, it appears, off of that. That was an unfortunate play for the Panthers to mock up, as it was a perfect flip, but just not in time for Colby Poe to make enough judgment to make the catch. So 2nd and 17 or so. 2nd down and 18 from the now Panthers 48. Less than 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in this opening quarter. Panthers trail 8-0 to the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles. Hensler out beyond the 45. He will take the snap a little bit above the waist. He'll make a throw out towards Elijah Settle, and that will be broken up out there by the man on defense for the Orioles. Don't think I have a number for him, unfortunately. In fact, I do, rather. It is Tahoe Verzik-Wilcox. So it'll be 3rd down and long from the Panther 48 off of an almost completed pass by Dylan Hensler to Elijah Settle. Would have been enough for the 1st down as it crossed that 25-yard line, but unfortunately was not complete. So 3rd down and long for the Panthers here, who are looking to keep this drive alive with 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in this opening quarter of play here. Panthers trail 8-0. They leave the huddle. Hensler not under center on this one. Got a receiver, Elijah Settle, out towards the left on the near side. He will rather go under center for Hensler. He looks to his left and will take the snap, punch it through. He will have contact on him a couple yards in, make it about 5 yards down. So it'll be 4th down and 12 from the Oriole 47. Or rather, it'll be about 4th down and 13 from the 47 of the Orioles. So this one I think the Panthers will punt on. As it is still 4th and long, they will send out from the sideline. It's number 6. I do not have a number 6 on my roster, unfortunately. So they will go for the punt. No Oriole in the backfield that far. It appears that Tahoe Verzik-Wilcox will be out the farthest, and the kick will go out beyond the 25. It'll roll at the 25. Elijah Settle goes out to touch it, but the officials will rule the ball dead before he can make contact with the ball. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Orioles, rather from their own 20. So pretty normal starting position for the Orioles here in drive number 3 on the afternoon for them. They lead 8-0 here over the homestanding Panthers. And play will resume here with the Orioles on offense, Panthers on defense. The Orioles will take a brief huddle. And going back to the previous drive by the Panthers, not a bad start. Unfortunately, if they didn't get that long 4th down, they could have possibly converted the down yet again, as they did 2 times. In the meantime, handoff does not go as a fake. It is a pass from the quarterback to the runner, Jaden Orsi-Peterson, for the completion. Appears to be about 7 or 8 yards on the play, brings up 2nd down and 8. So a bruising play there by the Orioles in the opening play of the drive. It's number 3 on the afternoon for them. The Panthers looking to get their defense set up here, as they have had one good spot here. It was a recovered fumble near the goal line at the 4. Since then, nothing much has gone for them, as the snap goes a little bit above, but the runner will get the 1st down and more. Tackled near the midfield line. Around the 48 is where he will be marked. That is Ethan Guttler on the carry. Gets a long gain, rather, at the 47 of the Orioles. It'll be a 1st and 10 situation for them with just around a minute to go in this opening quarter of play here. First down and 10 from the 47 for the Orioles. They lead 8-0 over the Panthers here in this opening quarter of play inside 1 minute. Snap goes a little bit high, but it's fielded by the quarterback. He'll make a run around onto the near side. Got a defender in front of him. Will shake the defender and step out of bounds close to the 1st down marker. They will rule him out after the 1st down was completed, about a yard after the fact. So they will get the 1st down to go for them around the 40 of the Panthers, make it the 42-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Orioles with 36 seconds or so on the clock. In this opening quarter of play, Orioles lead 8-0 over the Panthers. And I unfortunately don't have a number for their quarterback either. Quarterback number 3, don't have a number for him. The closest I have is a 2 and a 5. So we'll refer to him as number 3 this afternoon. So quarterback makes a signal. And he will take the snap around the torso. He will be taken down in the backfield. None other than by the Panthers' Hayden Milam, it appears. So that was a bruising loss for the Orioles, as it is about a 5-yard loss on the sack. 2nd and 15 for the Orioles, with 13 going down to 12 and counting, as this could be the last play of the first quarter. If they do get it off in time, it doesn't appear that they will. They will let the clock run out. That is the end of the first quarter, with a score: Maryland School for the Deaf 8, Rappahannock County 0. We've played through the first 12, and we'll come back to you right after this with the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles sitting 2nd and 15 from the Panther 47, or my apologies, from their own 47, my apologies. And we'll take a sideline here. When we return, it'll be the second quarter right after this. And the first snap comes in. It's a handoff in the backfield. First a fake, then it'll go to the madman Nathan Shepik. He will take it about 7 yards on the play, and it'll be dropped inside the 10-yard sticks at around the 40, so make it 41-yard line. So about a 7-yard gain on the play for the Orioles. Third down now, and 7 from the 41-yard line. Orioles leave the snap, or leave the huddle rather. Quarterback staying out. Makes a signal with his right leg, takes the snap above his head. He will field the ball and run to the far sideline, going through, and before he will run out of bounds after passing the 40, make it to about the 38-yard line. So about 3 yards on the keeper, make it 4th down and roughly 5 on the play for the Orioles here. And this is, if it's not the first time, it's one of the few times that the Orioles have been pressured into a 4th down play. Panthers have been pressured every time, but converted 2 and didn't convert the other 2 that they had previously. Quarterback sets, will take the snap above his head again. This time he will go to the near sideline to his left, running around, and he will get the first down and stay in bounds just before he crosses the 25. Will go about to the 24-yard line before the chains will be moved. 1st and 10 for the Orioles on that. From the Panther 24. Just under 11 minutes to play in this second quarter. Orioles lead 8-0 over the Panthers and are threatening to add to that score as they sit close to the red zone, 4 yards out. Panthers looking for a stop here. They got one on the first drive of the game with a recovered fumble on the 4 of the Orioles. Or my apologies, of the Panthers, rather. Orioles got it down to their 4 as the snap is handed off to Gutterman. He will run it into the end zone for the touchdown. It is a 24-yard run for Gutterman. Ethan Guttler, my apologies. And he will walk that in for the touchdown. So the Orioles add to their 8-0 lead to make it a 14-0 lead right now over the Panthers with the PAT pending. That drive lasting through the first into this second quarter, but only knocking a minute and around 15 seconds off the clock in this quarter, and not terribly much more before that. So we'll say about a 4-minute drive as they will set up for the 2-point conversion. It is fielded in the backfield, it appears, by Shepik, and he will take it, or my apologies, rather, Guttler will take it in for the 2-point conversion. So it is a 16-0 affair now for the Orioles out of the Maryland School for the Deaf. 16-0 as we return to you with 10 minutes and 37 seconds in this first half of play. Panthers trail 16-0 to the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles. We welcome you back to Panthers Stadium. It is a 16-0 ball game in the favor of the visiting Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles. Rocco Bauer going back to kick the ball away. It appears to Aiden Stoner in the backfield on the near side, and the officials will have a brief pause here. It appears Brandon Pullen and Aiden Stoner are in the backfield for the Panthers to receive this kick from Rocco Bauer, as he will send a signal to his teammates, and he will kick the ball, a short squib-type kick, and it appears that a Panther will fall on it near the 40. It looks like Jose Arellano, my guess would be. Or rather, my apologies, I believe it was Hayden Milam to fall on it. So it'll be first down and 10 from the Panther 40-yard line. Need to make it to midfield to get the first down completion. So Hensler will go out to the field after receiving his signal, or rather his call, my apologies, from head coach Fulmer Burks. Again, Panthers have it first and 10 from their own 40-yard line, looking to get into Oriole territory here for the second time straight on their third drive of the afternoon. Hensler got a man out to his right, appears to be Austin Harrell. It looks like we will have a timeout before the play gets started by the Panthers. It's their first timeout of the game. I'm going to suppose it's a 30-second timeout because the players are staying on the field. So we'll take a brief sideline here, return to you right after this. So the timeout is close to concluded here. That's the first timeout called by the Panthers this afternoon of the first half. And as play resumes here, Hensler will rather now go under center. Got Harrell out to his right. He will take it under center, hand it back to Elijah Settle in the backfield. He will run around to the line of scrimmage, pick up 2 or 3 after that before he's taken down by the Orioles' Dwayne Collins II. So about 2 yards on the play brings up second down and 8 second down and 7 after a 3-yard gain from the Panther 44. Approaching 10 minutes left in this first half. Panthers trail 16-0 to the Orioles. Hensler goes under center, got Harrell out to his right. He will take it under center, hands it off to Elijah Settle in the backfield, picks up about a yard or so before falling down towards the 45. So it's a 2-yard pickup on the play, and there's a Panther down. I believe it is Elijah Settle. It looks like a 4. He did pick up 2, so make it third down and 5 from the 45. They will send out the trainer. So we will take a sideline here on this video. We'll return to you with hopefully good news on the injured player. But in the meantime, we got an official timeout on the field for an injured player. So it was Elijah Settle, the man down for the Panthers. He is walking on his own power, which is a good sign compared to other injury signs that we could have seen in possibility. As play will resume here in just a moment. Third down and 5 for the Panthers from their own 45. Looking to get to midfield to complete the first down here. So Panthers will break from the huddle. Hensler looks to go towards, or rather go under center. He will. Got a man out to his right, Austin Harrell. He will hand it off in the backfield to Aiden Stoner, who will not get much of anything, maybe a yard on the play. Fourth down and 4 or 5 It is, in fact, 4th down and 4 from the 46 of the Panthers. And here's another question. Will they go for this one this time or not? They appeared to not go for this one, as they went 4th and 3 previously. This time with a 4th and 4, they will not go. They will send their punter out. And not quite sure what's going on, as there was a pause on the field. Chasing down the ball down there is Austin Harrell. He will not get to the ball in time. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Orioles inside the 10 from about the 8-yard line. And not quite sure what was going on with that play. The ball was snapped, but nobody moved. Even the punter didn't know necessarily what to do, as he stopped for a second, then decided to kick it, and certainly did count, because the Orioles are now inside their own 10. So make it to about the 8-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Orioles. And they're looking to keep their scoring streak alive in their drives. Their last drive was an 8-yard point score for them, as they took it down the field and then converted the 2 points for the 2nd time straight. Here comes the play. The runner, Gunnler, will make it to the 1st down and more. Gets to the 40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20. He will take it all the way for the touchdown. A 92-yard run by Ethan Gunnler for the Oriole touchdown. What a play by the Orioles on offense to dissect the Panther defense and to get it to go in one play. We now sit so far 22-0. Sorry, my math was wrong. 22-0 is the score. And the Orioles are not done just yet. They get the PAT, and the last 2 times they've scored, they've went for the 2-point. Most likely going for it again, at least the way the Panthers are set up on defense. They are going for the 2-point conversion. They're 2 for 2 so far this evening in 2-point conversions. And it is fielded in the backfield, handoff to Calvin Trina for the 2-point conversion. So make it 24-0 off of the bad math from earlier. 24-0 is the score here from Panther Stadium. The home stadium Panthers trail to the visiting Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles as they scored yet again. 2nd time off of 2 straight drives where they've scored now. As we take a sideline here, we'll return to you right after this. 24-0 is the score here from Panther Stadium. 8 minutes, 40 seconds left in this first half here, as Rocco Bauer is set to kick the ball away for the Orioles. He will do it, and this one will go a little bit farther than his previous, down to the 20 inside, and it will go out of bounds, so we'll get a penalty flag on the field off of the kick. So they will get 10 yards from the original spot, I believe, or rather, the original, what would have been the original fair catch. No, not fair catch. What's the word I'm looking for? Touchback. There we go. Should know this by now. So 1st and 10 from the 30. My apologies, 35. So hard to tell what the yardage is when you don't have the numbers painted on the field. 1st and 10 from the 35 from the Panthers. So after the illegal procedure, 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 35. Hensler under center. Takes the snap, hands it off in the backfield to Colby Poe, who will take it up a couple yards and drop. About 1.5 yards in, make it 2nd down. We'll call it 8 from the 37 of the Panthers. 24-0 is the score here in the favor of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles. Second down and 8 from the 37. Hensler under center. Got no receivers out there, all towards his back, and that will be a flag on the play. It'll be an offsides call, it appears, on the Orioles. Rather, it'll be a false start on the offense. So that'll take it back 5 yards for a second down and 13. Couldn't quite tell who went first, but I did see some Orioles move first, at least my view, but the officials say otherwise. It is Panthers pushed back. Second down and 13 from now the 32. Hensler takes the snap waist high, looks to throw, and he will avoid a tackler. Makes it to the 30 before he's dropped at about where he started, or rather where the play started. So it appears to be 3rd and 13 from the 33, so there was a yard of gain there. So 3rd down and 12 from the 33-yard line for the Panthers after a scramble that went back about 5 or 10 yards to pick up 1 on the play. Rounding to about 7 minutes left in this opening half of play. Panthers trail 24-0 to the Orioles of the Maryland School for the Deaf. Panthers leave the huddle. Hensler outside of the pocket. He'll take the snap, looks to run on the far side. He will get through to the 40, bounces down to the 41. So a pickup of about 9 on the play brings up 4th down and 4 or so. And they will send their punter out yet again. Another 4th down and 4 for the second time in a row. We'll see if this time, if the players don't stop and think for a second here, as the previous time the Panthers punted, nobody knew what was going on. That one will sail over the punter's head, goes back inside the 20 down to the 10, and they will get him there. So it'll be great field position for the Orioles here in drive number 5 on the afternoon. And it comes at a cost to the Panthers off of a botched snap to the punter that goes back about 15 to 20 yards. They will, in fact, field the ball around the 11. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11. So the Orioles need to get to the 1 to complete it, but they need to get to the end zone to, well, not only also complete it, but add to their score. Here comes the snap. It's a fake handoff. Throws to the left. It's caught. And will they call him in? They will not call him in just yet. So he is short of the goal line by about a half of a yard. It is Rocco Bauer on the run there after the pass. So they will field the ball at about the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for the Orioles from the Panther 1. So they couldn't quite get the score, but they did in fact get that 10 yards. And now they set up 1st and goal. Quarterback will keep it and running into the end zone. It appears to be good. It is a touchdown for the Orioles here. And that just beefs up the score to now 30-0 over the Panthers. And I'm assuming now that they will go for the 2-point conversion, as that's what they've been doing the whole afternoon. But we'll see what they do for the PAT. We We sit with 5:15 left in this first half, 30-0. They will go for the 2-point conversion as they are not sending a placeholder or a kicker out. But in the meantime, they haven't done that at all this afternoon. The handoff in the backfield to the runner, Nathan Shepik. He will make it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So we sit a 32-0 ball game in the favor of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles here late in this first half. About 5 minutes, 15 seconds to play in it. And it's 32-0 in the favor of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles. Back to Panthers Stadium with about 5 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. 32-0 ball game in the favor of the Orioles. Rocco Bauer set to kick this ball away, giving a signal to his team he will kick it away. This one's almost a squib-type kick. It will get around the 30 to the 28. And the question is, who came up with that ball? Panthers do, in fact, come up with the football. It was Will Newman who picked it up, and he looks to come off the field. Kind of looked like he came off in a limp, but not necessarily. Goes down on a knee on the sideline. So we'll see what happens with him in just a moment. In the meantime, Panthers set up shop 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. And I think it's worth mentioning, but not needed for a reminder, that 3 more points to go toward the Orioles will be a running clock in the second half. But judging on that the Orioles have not sent out anybody for a point after to go through the uprights, they will, in fact, try to get 6 on the board before this half expires. In the meantime, Panthers out of the huddle. Dylan Hensler in the pocket. Got a receiver to his right. Can't quite tell exactly who it is. It's a double-digit number, I can tell you that. Hensler takes the snap a little bit below his waist. Will throw it out into the area of midfield. It'll be incomplete as it's broken up by a couple of Orioles. It appeared to go to Aiden Stoner out at around the 47 of the Orioles. It'll be incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 10 from the Panther 28. That would have been a great completion to make there, but unfortunately didn't come up quite yet for the Panthers, as they're being a little bit patient now, or their patience is starting to run thin, rather, as they've been patient leading up to this point with 4.5 in the first half to play. Panthers will leave the huddle. Hensler stays in the pocket, will not go under center for this one so far. And he will take the snap just below his waist, bobbles it, and picks it back up, but he will be swarmed in the backfield by number 53, Keanu Herzig Wilcox, for a loss of about 5 on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 14 from the Panther 24. So Panthers really trying to get things to go for them. They have unfortunately not been able to do it yet. 3rd down, 14. Hensler in the pocket. Got a receiver out towards his right. He will take the snap perfectly this time. Runs it through at the 30, and he will be dropped momentarily after. My apologies, the 25 is where he was. Picks up a couple for a 4th down and 12. About a 3-yard carry on the keeper. 4th down, 12. Punter coming out for the Panthers. Ball spotted at the 26 of the Panthers. They needed to get to the 38 in order to complete the 1st down, but sit 12 yards back and possibly more if the same thing happens as previously. This time the kick will get off. Sails out to midfield, out to the 40. Will go out of bounds at around the 39-yard line. They will field it at the 40, rather. So I'm not quite sure if they counted the bounce or if the bounce went out, or if that extra bounce, rather, was out of bounds. It did bounce once before it left the field. So 1st and 10 for the Orioles from their own 40. 3 minutes and 20 seconds roughly on the clock in this first half of play. Panthers trail 32-0. And Panthers just looking for a stop here. The Orioles looking to get into the end zone again. They've done it successfully now 4 times. And have converted all 4 PATs, all as 2-point conversions. Here comes the snap to Guttler. He will be picked up right as he gets the handoff in the backfield. So he will be dropped for a loss on the play. Dropped around the Oriole 36. It's a loss of about 4 on the play. So 2nd down and 14 now for the Orioles. From their own 36. Great defense by the Panthers there to read that handoff, as that's pretty much been what the Orioles have done this entire ball game this afternoon. Quarterback stays in the pocket. Got a man to his left. He will hand off to him. It is Guttler. He will get to the original line of scrimmage and go past the line again for a 1st down, possibly more. Nobody will catch him. He makes it to the 15-10, to the 5, to the house for the touchdown. Another run by Guttler and another one to get into the end zone. And now the clock will run in the second half of this evening's game. 38-0 is the score with the PAT pending. Again, most likely going to be a 2-point conversion, as the Orioles have not sent out anyone to kick for the PAT. So they are most likely going to go for the 2-point yet again to make it an even 40-0. Right now we sit 38 with 2 minutes and roughly 25 seconds on the clock. A little bit more than that, but just to estimate. They will go for a 2-point yet again. This is the 5th one of the afternoon for them. Quarterback got a man to his left. He will hand it off, and this time they will not get it. The ball comes out at the 5, and the Panthers appear to fall on it. The 2-point conversion is no good. So what a defensive effort by the Panthers. They keep the Orioles out of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. I believe it was Hayden Milam to fall on the football there as it popped out of the arms of the runner. I believe it was Mark Gwynn who was running that ball in. The 2-point conversion is no good, but the Orioles do now lead 38-0. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock here. Panthers have 6 and 22 deep to receive the kick from what appears to be Rocco Bauer again. It is. So we'll see exactly what the Panthers can do in this last little bit of the first half. 2:20 left in the half. Bauer signaling to his team, and he will make the kick. It is another squib. Appeared to be it was close to looking like an onside, but it went the 10 yards that is needed. However, the Panthers do fall on it after it travels, let's say, close to 20 yards. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 41, about 19 yards on the kick there. I really do believe they were trying to go for the onside there, and they did, in fact, they would have, in fact, had a legal onside if they did fall on it, because it did go the needed 10 yards, but unfortunately, which for them just went a little bit too far for them to keep it. Because if that was a regular kick or a squib kick, that was a weird one. Panthers set up shot 1st and 10 from their own 41. Hensler under center. He will take the snap. Looks to run. He loses the ball. And it appears that the Orioles do fall on it. They do. So the Orioles will retake possession in their own, or in the Panther territory, my apologies. Around the 32-yard line is where the ball will be placed. 1st down and 10. With 2 minutes and a roughly 10 seconds to go in this opening half of play. That drive took 10 seconds, and it ended up in misery for the Panthers there. make it 1st and 10 from the 33. So the Orioles going in a huddle here. Panthers already out into what will be their formation for this play. I believe this is drive number 6 on the afternoon. I'm not keeping track. I'm only keeping track in my head, so if I'm wrong, my apologies. But I believe this is drive number 6 because they didn't score on the first one, but every other one they've scored. Or my apologies, the previous one was drive 6. It's now 7 as handoff in the backfield goes. It's on the near side, going through for 10 and going through for 20, getting close to the goal line and going out of bounds at the 6, it appears, is Mark Gwynn on the carry. So picking up almost 30 yards, make it, we'll say 26 for simplicity's sake. 26 or 27 as they sit now at the 6. That's 27. So 1st and goal from the 6 for the Orioles. Just under 2 minutes left to play in this first half. The clock is going to run in the second half no matter what. Quarterback in the pocket, got a man to his right. It is Ethan Guttler. And quarterback will keep it into the end zone for the touchdown, walking in with a defender right behind him. And that will boost the score for the Orioles up to 44-0 here over the Panthers late in this first half of play. Again, most likely going for the PAT. They are 4 for 5 on the afternoon in PAT attempt, or rather 2-point conversion attempts. They haven't taken an attempt to kick the ball as you would normally see for football. They are going for the 2-pointer yet again. Again, they are 4 for 5 on the afternoon. Quarterback hands off to Mark Gwynn, and he will be stopped short again. Makes it to about the 4, where he will be dropped dead. So 2 straight 2-point conversions have been botched by the Panther defense. For the Orioles, it is still a 44-0 ball game in the favor of the Orioles, but could be 48 if the Panthers didn't break up those 2 straight 2-point conversion attempts. So great defense in that aspect. We sit 1 minute, 46 seconds or so on the clock in this first half of play, 44-0. We'll return to you right after this. 44-0 ball game in the favor of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles here from Panther Stadium. Maurer set to kick the ball away. This one will go up and fielded in the backfield around the 17-yard line. And he will make it to the 30, so it's about a 13-yard gain on, or 13-yard run, rather, by Brandon Pullen. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Panther 30, or at least in that area, off of a 13-yard return. A minute 15 left in this opening half. $44-0 is the score here from Panther Stadium. Hensler receives the play call from head coach Fulmer Burks and will take his knowledge out to the field. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Panther 30. Panthers set up shop here, looking to get on the scoreboard if they can. Hensler under center receives the snap and hands it off to Austin Harrell, who will take it on the far side for a couple of yards. Picks up about 3 on the play, make it 2nd down and 7. Or rather, that looks around 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8 from the 32. As time runs under a minute here in this first half. 2nd down and 8 from the 32. Panthers trail 44-0 to the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles here. Hensler out in the pocket, will take the snap waist high, flips it back to Elijah Settle in the backfield. Short gain, if any, on the play. Appears to stay the exact same, maybe lost just a couple inches there for 3rd down and 8. And that will most likely do it for this first half. 44-0 is the score here from Panther Stadium, and the first half is cemented into the books here as we take a sideline here for the first half of action. 44-0, Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles lead over the homestanding Rappahannock County Panthers. And welcome you back to the second half of football here from Panther Stadium. The Panthers will receive the kick for the second half from the coin toss they won and deferred. So it will be the Orioles of the Maryland School for the Deaf to kick it off. It'll be Rocco Bauer to kick for the Orioles here. So Rocco Bauer, the man back for the Orioles here to kick this ball away to start the second half. And the kick is up. Sails to the men in the backfield for the Panthers will be fielded at about the 20. And good starting position for the Panthers as they pick up about 17 or so on the play. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Panthers from their own 32. Or my apologies, 37. Like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to tell where the ball is being placed when you don't have the numbers painted on the field, because the only thing you can go off of is the numbers on the sideline, on the pads. So 1st and 10 from the 37 for the Panthers to start this opening drive of the second half for them. They trail 44-0 to the Orioles. Hensler in the pocket. Got a receiver out to his right. He will take the snap waist high, runs it around, flips it back in the backfield to Elijah Settle. He will make it to the line of scrimmage and keep on going. He's got the 1st down and more and gets dropped at about the 37 of the Orioles. It is a long gain by Elijah Settle, and it's the first down with confidence. But with the 1st down, a man goes down. It's Elijah Settle after the play going back down. It also appears that an Oriole is hurt on the field, but the Oriole not going down like Elijah Settle has. So we will take a sideline here for the official timeout on the field. We'll hope to return to you with good words. So Settle walks off on his own power, which is a good sign. 10 minutes and roughly 35 seconds in this third quarter of play. Dylan Hensler returning to the field after the play call. First down and 10 from the Oriole 38. Hensler in the pocket. He'll take the snap waist high, runs to his right, and flips it back in the backfield to the runner who will get dropped a couple yards in. That is Aiden Stoner on the carry. Maybe a tiny bit of progress forward for the Panthers. Brings up 2nd and 8 from the 37-yard line. Or rather, make it 2nd and 9 from the 37. With a 1-yard gain on the play. Hensler going under center for this one. And he will flip it back to Stoner in the backfield, goes to his left, and will get dropped way before he can even get to the first chain. So that'll be a loss of about 3 on the play. Brings up 3rd down and about 11. Or rather, they will say he made it to the line of scrimmage, rather. So 3rd down and 9. It appeared he didn't make it to the stick, but again, from this angle, it's very hard to tell. So 3rd and 9 from the Panther 37, or my apologies, the Oriole 37. Stoner gets it in the backfield again. He makes a run on the far side. He's pushed up near the stick. Did he get the first down? We got a couple players hurt on the field, at least one. This time it's an Oriole. They will signal the chains to move, so it is a first down in the process, but we'll take a time out here for the official timeout and hope to have more good words with this injury right after this. So play is set to resume here for the Panthers in their opening drive of this second half. They sit 1st and 10 from the Oriole 37. Or my apologies, the 27. After that previous run. Flipped back of the backfield to Aiden Stoner, who will take it a couple yards in. Brings up about 2nd down and 9 off of a 1-yard gain on the carry, Aiden Stoner. We've gone through 4 minutes of this opening quarter of the second half. 8 minutes remain. Panthers trail 44-0 to the Orioles of the Maryland School for the Deaf. Hensler goes under center. And he will hand it off in the backfield to Stoner. Stoner running up the middle. We'll get a couple on the carry. About 3 on the carry brings up 3rd and 6 from the 24-yard line. So Panthers looking to get across the Oriole 17, I believe is what it will add up to be. 17 or 18. Hensler returns to the field following the play call meeting between him and Coach Burks. They leave the huddle. Hensler appears to stay in the pocket for this play. Got a receiver out to his right is Austin Harrell. He will field the snap at his feet. Runs to his left, avoids a tackle, and runs through. He's got the first down, possibly more, and we'll see where they spot the ball. It's a first down no matter what, as he got past the sticks, maybe even got down towards the 15. It is a first down. Can't exactly tell. Looks like it's going to be spotted near the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Oriole 15, we'll call it. And it appears that there is a timeout on the Orioles. That's their first of the game. And this one appears to be not quite sure. Appears to be a full timeout. Not quite sure, though. Either way, we'll take a sideline and be back with you in just a moment. So it's 1st down and 10 as we return to play here following the timeout. Hensler takes a snap just around the knees, flips the ball, and it drops. Panthers appear to retain it, but they appear to lose yardage as well. 1st and 10 from the 15 goes to 2nd down. It appears to stay about the same, rather. So we'll stay 2nd and 10 from the Oriole 15. Panthers really looking to go on the scoreboard here early on in this second half to avoid the shutout here. Roughly 5 minutes left in this third quarter of play. Panthers trail 44-0, but they are in the red zone now. Second down and 10 from the 15. Hensler takes the snap under center and hands it off to Aiden Stoner, who will take it on the carry. Picks up about 5 on the play, or rather picks up 9 on the play, my apologies, for third down and 1 from the 6. Question is, did they get the first down there? They did not. They went back a yard. So it'll be fourth down and about 3 from about the 9. Roughly 4 minutes left in this third quarter of play. Panthers looking to get on the board here as they sit for the first time in the red zone this afternoon. Hensler in the pocket, takes the snap, will throw to his left to Aiden Stoner, and he will get rocked before he even gets to the chains. So loss of yardage on the play, but it doesn't matter because the completion was not there. So it will be a turnover on downs deep in Oriole territory. With about 3.5 minutes left in this third quarter of play. It is a 44-0 score where the Panthers almost got to the end zone, but stopped 15 yards out and pushed back a little bit further there. So here come the Orioles in their opening drive of this half. Quarterback fields it, and it's on the ground. I think the Orioles got it, though. No, the Panthers have it. The Panthers have the ball deep in Oriole territory. This is great starting field position for them on this drive. Roughly 3 minutes left in this quarter. The Panthers are a couple yards out from getting their first points of the game. They're probably 6 or so yards out. So it'll be first and goal on the opening play of the drive, rather. So Panthers leave the huddle following the great bit of defense to pick that ball up on the fumble. First and goal from about the 7. Appears quarterback keeps. Maybe lost a couple on the play. Rather, Aiden Stoner, my apologies, keeping it. Little to no movement of the ball placement, so it'll be second down and goal from about the 6. Again, that number's just estimated. It can't quite really tell, but it looks to be about the 6. It's at least one line out from the goal line and just a little bit farther beyond that 5-yard line, so about 6 or 7 yards out. Second and goal. Inside 2 minutes left in this third quarter, so we have about 14 minutes left of game time. Hensler going under center, it appears. Hands it off in the backfield, it appears, to Stoner again. He will take it to about the same spot. Could be just a tiny little bit of movement, but not enough for me to really notice. So make it, we'll say, third down and 7 from the 7, or third down and goal, rather, from the 7. Clock ticking down to 70 seconds left in this third quarter. Panthers have had the ball basically this whole entire quarter. Besides about a minute, if that, with the Orioles, they've had all 12 minutes have been on offense. As clock ticks under 60 seconds now, Dylan Hensler goes under center, about 7 or so yards out. Clock ticks down to 45, takes the snap, and will get dropped almost immediately, going back to the 15. So it's a loss of about 8 or 9 on the play, brings up 4th down and goal from the 14, or rather from the 16. 24 seconds left. They're going to have to do something. Are they going to go for the field goal, or are they going to go for the 4th down? They are going to go for the field goal as they're sending out a placeholder and their kicker, who is also being their punter this evening. 6 seconds to get the snap off. 4, make it 3. They get the snap off, holds down, the kick is up, and it is blocked. So the kick is blocked, so the Orioles will have a man fall on it, Ethan Guttler. But that concludes the third. 44-0 here in the favor of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles. We'll return to you right after this. Play is set and ready to resume here for the start of the fourth quarter. It'll be Oriole ball, 1st and 10 from their own 25. Snap is picked up by the quarterback, flipped over to number 12, Nathan Shepik. He will get through. And good enough for a 1st down on the first run of the drive. 1st and 10 for the Orioles from their own 35. A little over 30 seconds off the clock now. Really, the clock doesn't matter now, as it's basically a running clock besides timeouts, as that 35-point rule has been met. Quarterback in the pocket. He will take the snap at the ankles, hands it off in the backfield to Calvin Trina, who will pick up a couple on the run. About a 2.5, 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 from the Oriole 37-yard line. Or make it 2nd down and 8 from the 37. Orsi Peterson hands it off in the backfield. Runner goes around on the far side. He gets a 1st down and a little bit more on the carry. Make it Dwayne Collins II, the ball carrier there. Picks up about 10 on the play. Brings up 1st and 10 for the Orioles, now from their own 47. So exactly 10 on the play. 12 from the original line of scrimmage. Again, 1st down and 10 from the 47 of the Orioles. So they need 3 to get into Panther territory, as we've ticked into less than 10 minutes left in this game. Orsi Peterson in the pocket, takes a snap at the waist. He hands it off. In the meantime, I believe it was Mark Gwynn on the carry. He got a yard, or maybe not even that, like half a yard. Or my apologies, I think it was actually Calvin Trina on the ball carry. Got a little less than a yard, brings up 2nd, and we'll say 9.5. We'll say 2nd and 9 from the 48. Orsi Peterson set in the pocket, takes the snap around the ankles again. This time he hands off. And this time that will not go. It is Mark Gwynn on the carry. He's taken down in the backfield by a host of Panthers. It's a loss of about 3 on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 12 from the 46 of the Orioles. 8:40 left in the game. Again, a running clock, so the clock is not the biggest concern right now. 3rd down and 12 for the Orioles here. R.C. Peterson sets in the pocket, takes the snap around the waist, hands it off in the backfield to the runner Nathan Shepik, who will get through for a 1st down. It's about a 14-yard gain on that carry. Goes into Panther territory and drops at about the 41 of the Panthers. 1st down and 10 for the Orioles now. In Panther territory with exactly 8 on the clock for this final little bit of this afternoon's game. So R.C. Peterson, the quarterback, will set in the pocket. Got a man to his left. Got a receiver out to his left as well. And he will take the snap at around the knees. Hands it off to Calvin Trina, who will be dropped after a little bit of gain. Pick up about 1.5 yards or 2 yards on the carry. Brings up 2nd down and about 8 on the play at about the 39-yard line of the Panthers. Second down and 8 from the 39 of the Panthers. R.C. Peterson in the pocket, got a man out to his left. No receivers, or rather a receiver out to his right, my apologies. Hands off in the backfield to Trina. Trina will be taken down at the original line of scrimmage, but we do have a penalty flag on the field. We'll see what happened. Not quite sure if it was on the line or it was outside, but we will take a look. It is a holding call on the offense. That'll take him back. I believe that's a 10-yard penalty if my memory serves me correct. It's been a little while, but holding call on the Orioles. It's a 10-yard penalty. So it'll be a 2nd down and we'll say about 18. Regardless, it's 2nd and long for the Orioles. Sitting at about 6 minutes left in this game with the running clock. Orioles lead 44-0. Snap is made to Peterson. He will throw it off to the left. Missed a tackle, goes on to the original line of scrimmage and gets to the 1st down marker close, but we've got a flag after the play. Not quite sure if it would have been a 1st down no matter what. But we'll see what that penalty is in just a moment. Runner, I believe, was Shepik for the Orioles. And we'll see what this penalty is all about. It was near the end of the play. It's a personal foul against the Panthers, it appears. I'm going to guess that was a face mask call. I couldn't quite tell the exact signal. I did see the personal foul. I do know that. So that will back the Panthers deep into their own territory again. It's going to be 1st and 10 at around the 15-yard line. I'm going to guess it was a face mask. That's the only real thing that could have come out of that signal. In the meantime, R.C. Peterson deals the snap, and he falls with no one near him. A man for the Panthers did fall. It was, in fact, Will Newman who fell after the play on top of R.C. Peterson. But that will be a loss of about 2 on the play for the Orioles. Brings up 2nd and 12 with about 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in this evening's ball game. R.C. Peterson has to snap it about the waist. Hand off twice in the backfield. Runner goes out to the far side. Goes out of bounds after picking up a couple. It was Dwayne Collins II on the ball carry. Brings up about 4 yards on the play, brings up third down, my apologies, and 6. And Austin Harrell will come off the field as his helmet came off in the middle of the play, so he will have to sit out a play. Third down and 6 or 7. Orsi Peterson carries the ball himself, I believe. Or no, my apologies. We've got a flag after the play. The ball carrier looked to be Mark Gwynn. But we do have a penalty flag after the play. With about 3 minutes left in this game, it's kind of not a good time to bring stuff up. But we'll see what this penalty is all about, as it came in right after the play ended, so it's most likely another personal foul. After the play was over, a personal foul against the Orioles this time. So we'll see where they place the ball if the penalty was accepted. My guess is it is. Not quite sure what the personal foul exactly was, but it's nonetheless going to back the Orioles up way past the original 10-yard chain. Takes them back about 10 yards. So it brings up about 4th down and 15, and it appears that the Orioles call timeout. It's their second timeout of the half. And we'll take a sideline here. We'll be back with you right after this. 44-0 with 3 minutes left in this game. The Orioles lead over the homestanding Rappahannock County Panthers. Orsi Peterson going under center now to resume play. 3 minutes left in the game. Takes the snap, hands it off in the backfield to Carter. He will rumble around for a couple of yards, but it's not going to do any good, as it is a turnover on downs with the 4th down and 15. My apologies, Dwayne Collins, not Carter. So a couple seconds tick off the clock there on that play, but 2 minutes 55 seconds remain in this game. Panthers trail 44-0. So Panthers will set up shop around the 15 or so of their own. Time ticking down to about 2 minutes 30 seconds. Hensler under center. He'll receive the snap and give it off in the backfield to Aiden Stoner for about a yard gain. Brings up 2nd down and 9 from the 16. Hensler under center, deals the snap. Hand off in the backfield to Hayden Milam, who picks up enough for a 1st down. It's about a 10 or so yard gain. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 27. With 1:27 in this game. Hensler hands it off to Milam in the backfield. He runs around on the far side. Did he get another 1st down? He is close. He didn't quite get it, but got close. It got about 2 yards shy. 8-yard run by Milam. It's a 2nd down and 2 affair for the Panthers here, with time running down. Inside 60 seconds to play. 2nd and 2. From the 36. Hensler deals the snap, hands it off in the backfield. Appears to be Milam again. He will power through for the 1st down off of a 7-yard or so yard carry. So to bring up 1st down and 10 from the 43 of the Panthers. Hensler sets and snaps back, or rather hands it off to Milam, who picks up about 6 on the carry. 2nd and 4 from the 49. With 20 seconds left, this will be the last play of the game if they get it off in time. Time ticks down to 10. If they want to get one more play, they've got to run quick. 2nd down and 4. Here comes Hensler in the pocket. Takes the snap. Waist high. Looks to throw. Makes the pass. And it is incomplete to Aiden Stoner. And that will do it. The defense in the meantime coming from Rocco Bauer and number 3 for the Orioles. But that will do it here from Panthers Stadium. The final score 44-0 in the favor of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles, a game where they led the whole time and, in fact, had the same score up in the first half and didn't need to score in the second half. And good for the Panthers in keeping them from not scoring, but not only the Panthers keeping them from scoring, but the clock also kept them from scoring. So that really will do it here for our coverage of the Maryland School for the Deaf Orioles and the Rappahannock County Panthers. Thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you sometime soon for more high school football.